Halle Bailey has gotten a restraining order on DDG and she's claiming that he has gotten physical with her multiple times. She's filed a police report and now she wants court-ordered protection from the father of her child. In documents, she claims things first got physical in January. They broke up back in October and Halle says DDG came over to pick up their son Halo and she tried to start a conversation with the rapper about a child visitation schedule. As she was buckling Halo into the car seat, she claims DDG grew agitated and repeatedly said, "Get out of my car, bitch." Halle says the baby was crying and she got nervous about DDG leaving with him in such an agitated state. That's when they allegedly started wrestling, with DDG pulling her hair, slamming her face on his steering wheel, and chipping her tooth. As you can see the chipped tooth right there. Halle says that she was in pain and crying, and although that stopped the fighting, she was still worried about Halo, so she remained in the car for the ride over to DDG's house, where she told his family what happened. Once they told her they would take care of the baby, she left hysterical and with bruises on her arms to accompany her chipped tooth. She attached photos of her injuries in her request for a restraining order. She also is alleging that DDG creeped her out in March when he showed up at her home, entered the house without permission, went up to her bedroom, and texted a pic of Halle's empty bed to her, along with the text, "Now I know what you've been on, LOL." Halle says she interpreted the text as DDG accusing her of having sex with other people. There's also screenshots of their messages. There's also screenshots of their text messages where he sent her a screenshot of a tweet that says pretty much confirms the Halle Bailey and Brent Faiyaz rumors. Keeping Halo away from DDG while Brent playing stepdad in St. Lucia is nasty work. And he says this is foul, bet, and then sends another screenshot of Brent Faiyaz. And then he says, "You think you're hurting my feelings when you're really just ruining your own image. This is a terrible look, makes you look disgusting and evil. Enjoy your vacation, happy Mother's Day, and just have the same energy when it's my turn to have him. I'm on the same shit." 4 days later, she claims that he really exploded when he came back to her house. Halle told him she and the baby were sick and she didn't want Halo to leave home. And she claims that when he got verbally abusive, smashed her Ring camera and ran away with Halle's phone. As he drove off, she claims DDG threw the phone out his window and yelled to her, "Go get it, bitch." The incident prompted Halle to go file a police report, and she says she also has Ring footage to back up her side of the story. The judge granted Halle a domestic violence restraining order requiring DDG to stay 100 yards away and gave her permission to take nearly 18-month-old Halo to Italy, where she'll be filming a movie for 2 months. DDG also has to stop posting or streaming about her and their child. Halle claims her ex has been whipping his fans into a frenzy by trashing her when he live streams.
Ever since these two got together, it's been headline after headline. Their relationship has been surrounded by negativity, and so with this new breaking news, it feels like a very obvious and very unfortunate conclusion to their not-so-loving love story.
DDG's mother made a little comment about everything that's going on. She said, "I don't usually comment or say anything on this internet, even with all the negativity, the lies, and hatred towards mine. However, these accusations have made me realize that I've been quiet way too long. Why are boy moms like this? It's the boy moms. Their son can do no wrong. They've never touched anybody. Like, I just don't get it. Just keep your mouth shut. Nobody cares what you have to say. There are pictures out there that show that your son was physically violent towards her. I will never understand boy moms like this."
DVD, DDG, LMNOP, XYZ is cooked. You think that the people gonna let you do that to America's favorite black mermaid and get away with it? Everybody was already on your was playing with her in the first place. Okay? And they let you slide. But now that we found out that she's filing a restraining order against you because you chipped her tooth and broke her things, oh, we on you. And if I'm being honest, I think he's jealous of her. I think he's jealous of her because his career ain't never going to be what hers is. I truly believe that. And that's why we wasn't buying it when you said that she was keeping your son from you. You can't trick us. You couldn't manipulate us. That's the oldest trick in the book. When somebody is obsessing over a woman, they get to telling everybody that the woman is not letting them see their kids. But you left a part of the story out. You left all that stuff you did to her out of the story. Jail. Send him to jail.
So Holly's only 25 right now, and she has said previously that DDG was her first real boyfriend. I'm 32. You know us. We done been through it. We know how to see it immediately. But her being what, 22, 23 when they first started talking? Like, she had to go through it. It's her first real boyfriend. And then there's celebrities, so her listening to the internet warning her is not going to like make sense, really. Because anyone she dates, the internet's going to say something negative about them. Like, everybody has a past. So it's like, her listening to the internet wouldn't really benefit her situation anyway. But the biggest red flag to me was how fast he got her pregnant. That's always a red flag. Like, you can't tell me him getting her pregnant was an accident. I just feel like he recognized her value and what her presence could bring to him. So he said, I want to be tied to you forever. Therefore, impregnated her. And that's why he acts crazy, allegedly, according to the restraining order. Because getting her pregnant is a way to guarantee permanent access to her. You see what I'm saying? I said it to say, you have to learn the lesson. I believe she probably learned the lesson, and we're going to see her choose better moving forward. That's what I think.
I remember on Twitter a couple years ago when DDG fans were on there calling Halle fans crazy, delusional, jealous. We needed to stop talking so much. We needed to get a life because we said she was too good to be with that man. And we were f***ed. We knew she was too good for him this whole time. And we kept saying he's going to ruin her image. He's going to ruin her image. And lo and behold, he has ruined her image. What the f*** do you mean? You put your hands on her. And there's proof. Proof. The judge granted a restraining order. What do you mean there's bruises on her? Or what do you mean you chipped her tooth? The chipped tooth, that like you, bro, what? You really did do with the she said you did. I'm so confused. It's like, am I shocked? Am I surprised? I don't know. Baby daddies be acting real fucking crazy and we don't want to be with them no more. And I know y'all still gonna watch his streams. Y'all gonna be like, oh, she's lying. She's lying. But she has picture evidence. And she has text messages of proof of him being fucking crazy. Like, I knew he was a loser, but I didn't know he was this much of a loser.
She didn't want that man around that baby for no reason. What y'all haters gotta say now? It don't matter, because y'all gonna come up with every excuse in the book. Y'all are going to swirl it out. Either she's lying, even though she literally has proof. She showed the bruise on her arm when he grabbed her. Mind you, while she was buckling Halo into a car. She also showed a picture of her chipped tooth where he allegedly grabbed her by her hair and slammed her head into the steering wheel. But she has all that proof, and the restraining order was granted by the judge. It was granted. But y'all gonna either say she lying or she started it. And that is sad. I personally stand with Halle. Mind you, she said the abuse started in January after they broke up. They broke up in October. I'm telling you, that man was upset that Halle left. I'm telling y'all that's what it was. He was upset. Oh, and it was because she went over there to discuss a visitation schedule for Halo. The way these black women in Hollywood are not protected, let alone not in Hollywood, just in general, it's crazy and it's sad. But again, I want to let it be known that I fucking stand with Halle. DDG been a loser and he gives abuse vibes to me personally. So this is just look, he just, She was too pretty for him anyway, and she had way too much going on in her career. The definition of dating down. Sorry, not sorry.
You see how Halle went to a courthouse and made sure to file paperwork instead of hooting and hollering on the internet? Okay, for an audience of people who can't do absolutely nothing about your situation whatsoever. Very mindful, very mature, very much full custody.
DDG acting surprised on Aiden Ross' stream as if somebody gets a restraining order that you are not served that. You 110% know when somebody is filing a restraining order against you. He talking about, oh my God, that can't be real. Like, no way. Boy, you know 110% that's real because you were served with the papers. Trust and believe. And a lot of y'all just simply do not know how court proceedings, law, any of that shit fucking. But quite literally, both parties are notified. So the person that wants the restraining order and the person that is getting a restraining order put against them, both have to know that. You can't just have a restraining order against somebody for no reason. Another thing, it is quite hard to be granted a restraining order. There has to be a lot of evidence, and that judge has to really believe that your life or whomever's life is in danger. That man is quite literally a psychopath. Y'all cannot convince me otherwise. I already know I'm gonna have you little men that want to defend him be like, oh my god, I don't want to hear it. He quite literally put his hands on her, and there is proof behind that. I don't want to.
Another restraining order filed against yet another abusive black man. And guess what? We are not surprised because the signs were there. If someone's partner, or in this case, ex-partner, resorts to public humiliation to get their way with their partner or ex, there is a high chance that that person is physically abusive. If you woke up this morning hearing that Halle got a restraining order against ABC because of physical abuse and you are shocked, it is either 1, you are lying to yourself, or 2, you have not been on the internet, because the signs were glaringly there. Not only did QRST have a previous messy relationship with his ex, he still had another messy cheating situation with said ex after he got with Halle. Then there was the whole internet crash out about how Halle was becoming successful and he was feeling threatened. Like, imagine being jealous of your babe. Like, it's insane. This led to public humiliation because he started airing out dirty laundry in public. All because his ego was bruised from hearing that Halle is a bigger artist than he is. Who know you? This is a man that more than half of us would not have if she did not get with him. Mind you, it did not end there. Even after that, they still had a child together. And even after having a child, he was still airing dirty laundry in public. Mind you, while being an irresponsible father and taking your child on a podcast that his mother did not approve you to take him on. And even after the breakup and she trying to move on, you came online to say 2 of you would always be family because you have a child together. Which honestly is the male equivalent of tying you down with pregnancy. And now we are hearing that this person was physically abusive and we want to act shocked. We want to act surprised. Be real. And even though internet people were continuously clocking his bullshit and his abusive tendencies, I can understand Halle not listening to any of us because all of us don't know them in total. But I need us individually to start clocking abusive tendencies. 1, if he has self-esteem issues or moves or acts like you are out of his league and feels threatened by you, carry your slippers and run. 2, date in your caliber. One thing about women, they know when they are dating down, so don't act like you people don't know. 3, stop giving abusive men children. I don't know why it is always them that have kids. Like, bro, please, I'm begging. I know so many of you don't know that they are abusive until afterwards, but still, please. If there's one thing you should take from this story, it is leave. It is never too late to leave. It is also never too late to sue them. Never too late to get a restraining order against them. Never too late to file for full custody. Yeah.
It was never about seeing his son. We told y'all time and time again, it was never about him seeing Halo. Halle was not keeping that child from that man when we were just seeing him on stream a week before he came out with all them allegations. Oh, I'm just trying to see my son. That is a narcissist. And one thing about a narcissist is they're not bigger than the program. They can't hide or help their nature. And another thing about a narcissist is their textbook. Anything they do has already been done before. We could just research it. It's a mental illness. That's the sad part about it. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and make fun of the man, but honestly, it's sick. You got this man dissing his baby mama, making diss tracks while she's postpartum, taking care of their sick child, and everybody had every excuse in the book for him. Oh, she's just being a bitter baby mama and not letting her see his son. What the fuck? What are we actually talking about here? This is a narcissist. Any man that has a soundboard set up to push boom, boom, every time he says something to make it look like he's a victim, baby, what would you call that? What would you call perpetually victimizing yourself? One thing about Halle, she's smart because she didn't say a word the whole time he was on the internet making them rants and them spiels about her. That's how I knew something was in the water. Something was funny in the water. Because if she's not saying nothing, if she's not defending herself, it's obviously something more going on. This man is doing everything to try to manipulate the whole internet. Didn't work on me because I know how to see through a narcissist. I've researched their tactics for years. They're not bigger than the program. He's not bigger than the program. He's not smart enough for that. And then who you hang out with says a lot about you. He's hanging out with a Trump-supporting grifter, Aiden Ross, same man who was on his hands and knees to that bald guy who got canceled a few years ago and went to prison in another country. I forgot his damn name because he's so irrelevant to me. Talks about Bugattis and this and that and materialistic. You see, the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your soul isn't in materialistic items. God doesn't appreciate you having Lamborghinis and this and that. God cares about the things that are of your heart. And the things of their heart is evil in nature. So, I mean, come on now. This isn't surprising to anybody with a hint of discernment or a hint of spirituality or anybody who's on the right path of God.
What's really killing me is the clip of when DDG found out on stream that Halle put a restraining order on him because it was all over TMZ in the shade room. Talk about somebody acting oblivious. Like, y'all do know that the judge can't grant nothing without proof. The judge got the proof, baby. And I just can't understand why y'all are calling Halle bitter and saying that she brought this to the internet. No, she did not. She went to the courts and filed a report. TMZ is the one that broke the news and brought it to the internet. Johnny's face on that stream says it all, and I really feel like DDG is sitting there acting shocked because she stood on business and in private. Like, it's just really killing me that he was on stream talking about this can't be real. Dude, you really thought that Halle was never going to get the evidence and go to the courts about it? Like, you literally put your hands on her. What are you talking about? And he's sitting up here acting oblivious. Like, that's really is what's killing me. Like, you're acting oblivious as if you don't know that you did this and you know you did this.
That man came on this internet and had people drag Halle for not letting him see Halo. Meanwhile, and the fact that the restraining order was granted means... And honestly, the text about Brent, for someone who don't be caring, that text says a lot. And then to go into someone's house when they're not there, talk about, I know what you've been doing. Trespassing? Thing is, when he did his whole stint on stream, people were like, why don't you go through the courts? Because that's what any normal, sane person would do. But I can see why you wouldn't want to take someone to court when you got all of that done. Well, I don't know. I just hope Halle comes out better in this. And honestly, I've never really been a fan of DDG, so I don't really care about him. And also, I'm side-eyeing his family because what do you mean she came to your doorstep crying after what she experienced with him and you talking about you gonna watch Halo? If y'all don't smack that boy.
So Halle Bailey sent DDG a restraining order saying that he's been physically abusive and it started around the month of January. You know what's really crazy to me is the fact that academics predicted all of this. Like, if you watch some of academics' old streams...
Sorry to interrupt, but is this the DJ Academics he's talking about? The one with many bad allegations against him? Yes? Okay.
If you watch some of academics' old streams talking about DDG, he was basically telling them like, yo, if she can't get you one way, her next move is going to be basically to say you abusive and you hit her. What's crazy to me is watching DDG reaction to when he first got the news live on streams. He looked shocked, like he couldn't believe it. See, this is what happens when men get too comfortable and they think that a woman is too innocent or they won't do anything too crazy or go beyond what they have already done. He put Halle Bailey on that pedestal, making it seem like she's this innocent baby mother, like, not my baby mother. Not the Little Mermaid. She would never do nothing like this. Now she send you a restraining order saying, you can't stream and you can't put my son on camera no more. I'm telling you, she's been planning this from the moment they broke up. This has been a strategic move by her from day one.
I knew that Halle was being silent for a reason. I knew when she kept it on mute when that boy was running his mouth a couple months ago, it was for a reason. And now it all makes sense why he was crashing out like he was. I thought him doing what he did was foolish then, but now I'm really looking at him like he's a moron because you did all that knowing she had this big joker, that you put your hands on her, and it's on camera. She has it on the Ring camera. And the fact that all his little fans are, saying that this is just, she's weaponizing her female privilege and all this stuff, even though photos have been released. And at first I was like, you know what? I hope that video doesn't come out for the sake of Halo. There's a part of me that hopes she does put it out. If she wants it out, I hope she puts it out to shut all y'all idiots up because y'all been defending this man so hard. And I just love when y'all look stupid. Putting your hands on a woman, period, is disgusting. But to do it in front of your child is a different level of insanity that I will never understand. Between this and the Diddy trial and Cassie's testimony, it's just been a real nasty day. But I'm always here for abusers getting exposed. Send that G to jail, underneath the jail. Right along there with Tory Lanez. That's another one. Don't really give a what happened to him in prison. It's just a lot. It's been a hectic week, and it's only Wednesday. It's always super interesting when these subjects come up because I pay close attention to how men discuss these things, particularly men that I surround myself with, that I interact with. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, abusers and supporters of abusers are always going to expose themselves. And if men you are around are speaking of these things, DDG, Diddy, Tory Lanez, so on and so forth, in a certain way, it might be time to re-examine the type of men you keep around you.
Okay, DDG is not as smart as I thought because he reacted to getting the restraining order on a live. Okay, so that's bad in itself at first. Like, take it seriously. Then he said it was fake. It was like TMZ reported. They're at the court all the time. You know anything about TMZ? They don't get stuff wrong often. He's on a stream with Aiden Ross, who supports just the worst of men. Okay. Aiden Ross says he's a good guy, but free R. Kelly. Right afterwards, it's just a whole unserious situation about a serious situation with stupid hats. So he's just like, he looked guilty and more guilty. Also, academics reacting. He says she filed in January and she had it in the tuck. Listen, if it happened to her and a few months isn't that bad, she can bring it up later. Who knows why she didn't bring it up? Maybe she was confused. Maybe she wanted to protect him. You never know. And so just to say she's doing it just to bring him down, I don't know. Most women don't want an abusive, complicated, contentious relationship with their baby daddy. Okay, that's why most women go back to the baby dad. Like, they want it to be harmonious. So you don't know why she brought it up now, but she had every right to. And it's coming out that he was like this with Ruby Rose. So apparently it continued. You don't know all the things that happened.
So I think we can safely say that the era of the girls' girl is over. Y'all are not girls anymore. You're not trying to be friends. You're not trying to be in community or camaraderie or whatever. Y'all aren't even nice. Like, the 2010 mean girl is back in full swing. And there were signs the whole way, right? The way that people would shame a woman for not wearing what they think fits her body type the best, for trying different types of looks, or for the way that women who are getting married are bullied and shamed for every step in their wedding process, whether they do their own makeup, wear no makeup, do this type of hairstyle. Like, there were signs the whole way. And don't get me started on how we talk about pregnant people, just in general, just at large. Then y'all got on here and bullied Halle Bailey about her body. Halle Bailey, y'all bullied a woman who not only recently had a baby and therefore gained a little bit of weight, but y'all bullied a literal Disney princess about her looks so bad that she got online and was like, I asked my sister to take the post down because I was feeling insecure and because people were talking about me. A literal Disney princess. Back to gatekeeping outfits, you belittle people for their appearances, you leave these condescending, rude little comments under the guise of being helpful. Like, y'all are not girls anymore. It's because we live in a society that is increasingly misogynistic. And I know y'all are going to say, oh, but we all hate men, we all can't stand men, which, like, word heard. But the misogyny that they bring to the table, y'all are eating up. The era of the girls' girl is gone, and it's because y'all let all this toxic, hyper-masculine, super patriarchal rhetoric take it from us. How does that make you feel?